Guess who's back? It's been a while. Um, I go back to my crutch with the ums. So yeah, I guess I haven't really been feeling. I don't want to do a half-assed podcast. I don't want to talk about shit just to talk about shit. So I haven't really been like, I guess, motivated, if you want, to talk about stuff. As I pause to take a sip of this beer, I had to leave the green screen on because the hat was fucking with it. Like, this is a sweet lid, and like you would just see right through whatever image I put on the hat. So, uh, sorry, you're gonna have to deal with Celtic screen behind me. You don't like it? Fuck off, as usual. Um, yeah, so a lot of shit has happened since the last podcast. Uh, First of all, just finished watching UFC 261. If you're not a fan of UFC, I don't know what to tell you. That shit is awesome. Like, today's event was fucking off the chain. We had a guy hit another guy's leg so hard that his leg wrapped around the other guy's leg. Like, his leg broke and then wrapped around the guy's leg. It was almost like a fucking pretzel. We almost had that type of situation. That's how fucking sick that leg break was. But whatever. That wasn't even the highlight. We had knockouts galore. Like, from like legit people. The Chinese chick, and it's already, by the time you hear this, it's no spoilers. It should have fucking, all the results are already out on the internet. The Chinese champion, Thug Rose, knocked kicked the fuck out of her to the point where she didn't know what the fuck happened. She thought, like, why'd you stop the fight, when she was like dunzo. Um that Shevchenko chick just like dominated her opponent, and and Usman threw probably the cleanest, most vicious punch like through Masvidal's face that you'll ever see. It was I it was probably, I mean, obviously maybe I'm overstating it in the moment, but it was probably the cleanest fucking punch I've ever seen. Just that, just like landed right on the button. And yeah, that's hyperbole. Obviously, there's been tons of them, but when you see this punch, and mind you, Masvidal's never been knocked out in his UFC career, so that tells you how serious this fucking punch was. Let me pause this real quick because my fucking, right, shit's working. I don't know what the fuck that was, but whatever. So this fucking guy Masvidal has never been knocked out, and he the punch went just like through his face to the point where he didn't know what the fuck happened. Like, that's how crazy this was a fucking awesome event. But whatever. If you're not into UFC, then you're not into UFC. I mean, it's taken over boxing. Boxing kind of is like a afterthought now. But whatever. You know, to each his own. There's other sports to watch. Um so since our last episode, we've got some major shit going on. Like, there was the George Floyd, the hell's the guy's name? Derek Chauvin trial, which I caught bits and pieces of it. And I guess I'm jaded. Like I kept going back to other, like all you got to do is go back to Rodney King, where you see, you see on video cops beating the piss out of Rodney King and they got off. So you kind of look at it with some skepticism, but thankfully the guy got what he deserved. I mean, listen, we've always said on this podcast, we're pro cops. We love good cops. We love cops who try to do things right. But, it didn't seem like that was the case in this instance. So, I guess we'll wait and see what the sentencing comes out. I guess there's more shit that has recently surfaced about him possibly doing the same type of tactic on some teenager way back when or whatever. I don't know, whatever. But bottom line is, you got to be smarter. And it leads me, and I'm not going to get into a whole thing. One of the things I realized when doing these things with Rob, we wanted to highlight certain shit that was going on in the world with COVID, with these types of racial injustices, whatever. The problem is this is a fucking comedy podcast, and you can only find so much comedy in that stuff, and we just let it go too long. Like we should have mentioned it because we want to, create that timestamp on this podcast in this time, of our history. But I think we did a poor job in just kind of mentioning it, maybe saying one or two things about it and moving on. And I think Rob would agree, because ultimately we like to just have fun and talk shit and drink beers and live life to the fullest, which unfortunately George Floyd didn't get to do. And uh, there was some decent points that the defense tried to make in their case about drug use and blah blah blah, all this bullshit, to try to create that doubt, because that's all you got to do. You just got to create a speck of doubt. And unfortunately it didn't work for him, because the prosecution had so many experts saying, no, this guy died because he was this dude was kneeling on his fucking neck. So that's over. Thank God there's not a bunch of riots. Unfortunately, the Republicans have taken that and used it as ammunition to try to put forth all these bills to kind of quell the First Amendment, which is ridiculous. Just like it's ridiculous for that fucking that representative in Minnesota talking about from the squad, that chick talking about getting rid of cops and getting rid of and letting everybody out of prison. Like, everybody's lost their fucking minds, and it's like nobody has any common sense anymore. So I don't even want to get into all of that because again, we mentioned, but the cops are still doing stupid shit. Like this tells you this is a problem. Knowing the sensitivity, knowing where we are these days on what the fuck is going on, these cops are still doing stupid things. They pull over this kid. This kid's got a warrant on him. He's scared. He take and I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, oh well, why didn't he just do what the cops told him to do? Blah blah blah. All that is bullshit. Okay, I get it. I would just pull over and just do what the fucking cop told me to do. However, just because you don't do what a cop tells you to do doesn't mean you deserve to lose your life. Okay, just like that lieutenant in Virginia that got pulled over for a traffic stop. For all you hardos who are pro cops and pro troops, this guy was a fucking troop. He's a lieutenant, I believe. if I'm not fucking that up, because I usually fuck it up. The guy didn't comply fully, but had his hands up and was like, yo, what the fuck? These guys had their guns drawn on him like that. Like that. That's what we want from our law enforcement. I'm not saying it's an easy job. I'm not saying that it's not a dangerous job. And usually I'm siding with the cops. Like, for example, the girl that got killed, 16-year-old girl that got killed, cop shot her, right? I forget what city it was. Cop shot her because she was trying to fucking stab people. She was in a fight. She was trying to stab people. That's justified. Sorry. I don't give a fuck her age. Yes, there are probably other measures that they could have used. Tasers, beanbags. There are a lot of other stuff they could use. So maybe I'll walk that back a little bit. But at least there was a threat there. There was a threat. The girl had a knife and she was like literally trying to stab other people. If you don't understand that a cop shoots somebody in that situation, then you're just a fucking retard. And I know I'm not supposed to use that word, but sorry, whatever. It is what it is. So, but this kid gets pulled over, takes off, and this woman cop says she mistook her, and she said it, I guess to give her the benefit of the doubt, she said it in real time. Like she was confused that she shot him versus tasing him. Which anybody who knows anything about those weapons will tell you they don't feel the same. They're different weights. They have different safety measures on them. So for her to not differentiate between the two goes to show you she probably shouldn't have been doing that job. So, like, to say, oops, I fucked up is not going to fly for the family of that kid. Fucking guy was young. Like, his life is gone because somebody couldn't figure out the difference between their taser and their gun, which I would say is pretty important thing to have a handle on when you're doing that type of work. And then we got this other body cam footage of a 13-year-old boy. Now, mind you, from what I gather, he did have a weapon. However, he ran, and in the course of him running away, he tossed a weapon, which makes sense, right? Like, if you're doing some dirt, if you got some weight on you, you're going to get rid of it. You're going to run, and it's going to give you enough time, and you're going to get rid of it, right? Which is what this kid did. Cop catches up with him. The kid stops. The kid's hands are clearly up in the air with nothing in them. And he is shot dead. 13 years old. Think about that. Everybody has some experience, either personally, like in your own home, or just somebody you know, a 13-year-old kid. Okay? This is not an adult. This is a kid who was probably scared, who was probably like didn't know what the hell to do. I'm not saying he's a good kid. I'm not saying he didn't do dirt. I'm not saying any of that. But he didn't deserve to die. And unfortunately, it's like we're just running in circles. We're chasing our own fucking tails. And people just we're getting desensitized to this stuff. And now you got assholes trying to put in laws that say, if I'm going to protest this bullshit, a cop could arrest me and say anything. They could say I was doing anything that's on this list. And in some places, it's now you don't get help a college or housing or unemployment. Like they're trying everything to stop your First Amendment rights, basically, is what's going on. I thought conservatives cared about First Amendment rights, but they're passing bills to combat First Amendment rights. To the point where they made it legal in Oklahoma and one other state, I can't remember what it was, that if you run over a protester in your car, you basically get immunity. How crazy is that? Now, mind you, there was some, when I lived in Massachusetts, there was some protests about some bullshit that they were blocking like the highway. So I think if I had immunity, I might have run a few motherfuckers over. I don't know. I'm not saying that I would. But it was nowhere near over anything as important as this stuff is. And, you're trying to get to work and you're in like an hour's worth of traffic already. And you just see this asshole just sitting there in the middle of the fucking highway. It'll test your metals. And that's my point. You shouldn't have immunity because you shouldn't be able to just take the law into your own hands and run somebody the fuck over. Hello? What are we trying to do, the Wild Wild West? You're about law and order, but you're going to allow people to just run over protesters? And I'm sure they're going to say, oh, no, we don't mean it like that. We mean like if somebody feels unsafe and they're trying to just, get away in their car, blah, blah, blah. Well, you shouldn't get immunity for that. You should have to account for that and say, yeah, I was shitting my pants because these people were pounding on my car with their fists and rocks and stuff. So I hit the gas. I was scared for my life. You should have to do that. I'm sorry. You shouldn't just get immunity to just fucking plow through a crowd of people, because people will take advantage of that. So that's just stupid. It's fucking stupid. We're going backwards. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I want to move on because I don't want to talk about politics anymore, because politics suck. And these assholes that do it just blow with the wind. One year they're on this side of this issue. The next year they're on this side of this. And it's on both sides. Democrats, Republicans do the same fucking thing. They're all looking for their agendas. None of them have the balls to just have integrity. None of them, like, if you want to tell me, okay, I said that last year. However, if I stick on that point, now that the script has flipped, and now I have to go against what I said last year. If I'll stand by what I said last year, but I can't vote that way, because if I do, then these assholes that do believe this stuff aren't going to allow me to get anything done for my people. I would at least respect that. I would at least respect you telling me, I don't really believe in this shit, but I got to do it to get the job done. Then to try to spin it and say, well, this is a different circumstance because this, and that, and it's all bullshit that anybody can see through. Okay, by the way, I am sweating my balls off because I had to turn the fan off just to fucking, so you guys get a nice clear audio. So I hope you appreciate that, you fuckers. Balls gone, sweat it off, gone. I have no balls anymore. Okay, it's like fucking 90 in this podcast garage. Okay. Which is why you're going to see me doing a lot of this. That was a beer sip for those listening. And by the way, speaking of listening versus watching, I'm leaning towards like just not really giving a fuck about the YouTube channel because nobody really watches it, and I don't blame them. Like, who wants to watch this fucking puss? This puss in your face? This puss in your puss? Like, some consider me a ruggedly handsome man. Others think I'm disgusting. So, you know, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. You want to look at this puss? I don't blame you. So, I don't know. Maybe at some point we just change the YouTube to just like snippets and whatever. I'm just giving you show info if you give a fuck. Most of you don't. So let's get into the other topic, the funner topics. Now that we got the most of the speaking of politics, this is a funner politic topic. So Caitlyn Jenner is talking about running for governor of California. My first thought was, what the fuck? What is Caitlyn Jenner gonna do as a governor? Like, what is this wacko gonna do? But like always, I think things through, or not always, but most of the time. So I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Fuck yeah, let's go, Caitlyn Jenner. We're talking about a former gold winning U.S. athlete who kicked ass and took names, who somehow got himself involved with, what's her name? The Mother Kardashian chick? Whatever her name is. I don't know. I don't watch that shit. But I do know that he got involved with her. She turned him into a woman, like that whole clan. Like that whole clan defeats every man that has ever come into that web. Just look at the history. Look at the fucking history of every man that has come into that circle. Okay? So who's the one fucking with Courtney now? Travis Barker? Good luck, brother. Good luck. Okay? Whatever NBA player that's fucking with this one or that one, good luck. Because look what they did to Bruce Jenner. In any case, he survived. He survived. Felt like he had to be a woman. Had to let his woman out. Great. Good for him. Caitlyn Jenner. Fuck yeah. Do your thing. Do whatever you need to do. However you feel, whatever you need. R&R got your back. Okay? Because we're not here to cast judgment. Well, we judge plenty, but like real shit, we don't give a fuck. Do you? So, somebody who's gone through these things, who's transitioned from an Olympic medal winning male to a woman who has survived the Kardashians, if he can survive that, this motherfucker can take on anything. Now, California needs to be cut in half. It needs to be 2 states, but whatever. That's another topic for another day. It's just too big. It's just too big for like what works one place doesn't necessarily work another place. But whatever. Caitlyn can do it. So I'm on board. Chew, motherfucking chew. Let's go, Caitlyn. Okay? Let that be known. I am all aboard the Caitlyn train. I saw an article a while back, and unfortunately, I didn't remember what the actual specifics were about it, but the fact that there was like a ketchup packet shortage. So those little packets you get at McDonald's or whatever, supposedly there was a little shortage of them. I don't know if that's changed. if if it be if it got to the point where you were only getting like one packet of ketchup for your fries, that would kind of suck. I mean, because they barely put anything in those motherfuckers these days. Like, have you opened the ketchup packet these days? You get like a fucking drop. It's like, it's enough for like 3 fries, maybe 4. What the fuck are we doing? They're skimping here and there, and they think we don't notice. Like, I didn't notice how many chips are in my bag. It's all fucking air. Why do they take us for idiots? And more importantly, why do we keep putting up with it? I've noticed Snickers bars have shrunk. I don't have any facts to back that up, but I've noticed it. Snickers bars used to be bigger. Bags of chips used to have more chips in them. I know from experience, if these companies want to tell me that like these bullshit like reasons, they can eat a bag of COVID dicks, okay? Because you're not going to tell me when I experienced eating a full bag of chips and when I've experienced eating a full-size Snickers bar, okay? You fuckers are cutting corners just like the ketchup packets. The ketchup packet is so small, it's like, excuse me, still don't have a cough button on my microphone. Sorry. Um, it's like, you know, the Texas fries, how big some of those fuckers are, which I love a good Texas fry. Because I like a fry. Like, I'm not a big fan of shoestring fries because it's all crisp and no substance. I like some meat in my fry. Okay. Which is why I like crinkly fries. Crinkly fries have meat. You got to have some fucking meat in your fries. You know, and crinkly and if you put shit on top of them, like you got them little like waves to get that cheese sauce or to get some little bits of bacon or whatever the fuck you put on your fries. Ketchup. There's room for ketchup in those waves. But you get one of those big motherfucking steak fries and you use one of those ketchup packets. You could use one whole ketchup packet on one fry if it's a big steak fry. Like, that's how stingy they've gotten. So there's a reason why there's a shortage because you guys aren't putting enough ketchup in the motherfucking packets. If I got to get 30 packets just to get through a large fry, what the fuck do you expect? Fill them up. If not, just give me a little tiny bottle. Like, figure it out. It can't be that difficult, you stupid assholes. Jesus Christ. We should never run out of ketchup. Never. That is a God-given American right for you to have ketchup with your motherfucking fries. I swear to God, if I run out of ketchup, if some cocksucking place tells me they have no ketchup, oof, this might be the last time you hear from your boy. Because even the best fries, you can eat them, but ketchup makes them that much better. And even if it's that much, I want that much. Okay? So don't you fucking dare. Don't you even fucking try it, motherfuckers. I'm not saying I'm going to do anything crazy. I don't have any guns or anything like that yet. That might change if some motherfucker doesn't give me ketchup for my goddamn fries. Okay? Ketchup shortage. Fucking assholes. So I was watching a Celtics game recently, as you can tell. Your boy is a fan. Um, and I noticed that during the breaks, they have like you're like when you're at the game, right? You're at the game, there's a timeout on the court, jumbotron comes up, and they're panning the camera around. Kids are just dying to get on the camera, right? It must be so easy right now with so few people in in the stadium that like I swear to God I've seen like and they sometimes they go back to somebody who's like extra who really makes a show out of their little moment on the jumbotron. But like just regular ass people just dance barely dancing are getting seconds on the jumbotron. They're getting seconds on the jumbotron and they're not nowhere near appreciating it. They're just like, look at this. Like, what the fuck is that? This is your chance to shine. Get up and shake that motherfucking ass. What the fuck is wrong with you on the fucking Jumbotron? So what do? These assholes, instead of getting up and shaking that motherfucking ass like you're supposed to do when you're on the Jumbotron, they're, let me take a picture of myself on the fucking Jumbotron. This is where we are these days, people. I feel like if you get on the Jumbotron and you do this, and this is the first thing you do, like you're trying to grab a picture of yourself on the Jumbotron, out! Ejected immediately. Fuck off. You're gone. You get on the Jumbotron, you shake that motherfucking ass. I don't care if you don't know how to dance. Because there's plenty of people who get on Jumbotrons who can't dance a lick. But your responsibility when you get on that motherfucker is to shake your ass. Bust out the old moves. Do the sprinkler. People do it all the time. Twerk. Do whatever you got to do. But don't do this. Don't fucking put your phone up and try to take a fucking picture of the Jumbotron with you on it, taking a picture of the Jumbotron. Like, how stupid is that, you fucking morons? Oh, look, I was on the Jumbotron. Yeah, and you look like an asshole taking a picture of yourself on the fucking Jumbotron. Enjoy life. Shake that motherfucking ass. Sorry. Throats get a little scratchy there. This is coming from somebody who's never been on the Jumbotron, so you can understand my fucking frustration on this and anger. It's never been easier, and these assholes are blowing it. Blowing it. I am a slave to Seinfeld. You guys know this. I love Seinfeld. I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. Curb Your Enthusiasm, by far my favorite show ever. I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. Larry David is a fucking genius. He's an asshole, but he's a genius. I don't care. You can be an asshole and still be funny and still be. God damn it, it's hot. Fuck. I'm gonna power through it. Good thing I have cold beers. But I got to thinking, like, anytime I'm flipping through the channels and a Seinfeld episode is on, I'll watch it just because I don't know, there's something wrong with me. Like, I've already seen them. I think I've seen every single. I have to have seen every single Seinfeld episode. but yet I'll still watch it. Like if it's new. Like that shows that proves two things. One, the stuff they put out these days is shit. And two, and not everything, but even like some of the newer stuff is, I don't know. What's something newer that I guess I guess I like sitcoms that have a little bit of edge. So like uh and it's not even running anymore, but like the New Adventures of Old Christine had a little bit of that Seinfeld flavor. Um Mom, I think that has a little edge. And I like the Goldbergs because it brings me back to my era. So if the Goldbergs are corny to you, then I understand, but it brings me back to my era, so I kind of like it. But whatever. The one thing that I don't understand is you can flip to any channel almost at any time of the day and find the King of Queens. How the like, mind you, Jerry Stiller basically made the King of Queens tolerable, made it way better. Because let's face it, Doug and Carrie are kind of assholes. Carrie probably more than Doug, but even Doug's kind of like just like just jerk off. Um, so Jerry Stiller made it like much more palatable, but I don't understand the longevity in that. Like that's not one of the greatest sitcoms ever made, and yet this fucking show is on all times of the day, like on all different channels. Like, what the fuck are we doing? There's plenty of other good shows that you can show versus the fucking King of Queens. So I'm not a hater of the King of Queens, but Jesus Christ, enough already. Like, they must have like gave like serious uh, uh network friendly contracts. Jesus Christ, I don't know why it took me so long to get to that. Network friendly contracts for the King of Queens because it's always on. I've probably seen every episode of that just because it's always fucking on. Anyways, let's take a pause for a little drink. Listen to how I gulp this beer. For all you old school fans, ASMR types, I wish this was beer was fresh so I could have cracked it for you so you would have got the full experience. But whatever, it is what it is. So I want to talk about another asshole who I wish that I could punch in the face the way that Kamaru Usman punched George Masvidal in the face tonight. This cocksucker proposed to his girlfriend. That's not why I want to punch him in the face. What do you think it's for? Why do you think I wanted to punch him in his face? Think about that. Like, guy just wants to marry his girlfriend. Why would you want to punch a guy in his face for that? What the fuck is wrong with you, Rio? Are you fucking, have you lost it? Are we at that point where you fucking lost it, you stupid cocksucker? We're close, but we're not there yet. This asshole, no, he didn't do a big production at Fenway Park. with the stupid shit on the board. And like, if I can offer anything, a moment like that to all you guys out there should be private. Don't do it in front of your family. Don't do it in front of a bunch of strangers at some fucking public event. Take your girlfriend and have a special moment between the two of you that only you two share. Trust me, it's 1,000 times better than any of that other bullshit. And maybe someday I'll give you the story on how I proposed to my wife. Today's not that time. However, your boy did run into a couple of kinks in the program, let's just say. So I had to adapt. But whatever, that's besides the point. Let's get back to this asshole. Now, when I proposed, I found myself a nice ring. I was good. Okay. I know my wife's tastes. I know my, at the time, girlfriend's taste. She'll be happy with this. This fucking asshole got 5 different rings and let her choose which one she wanted. And that infuriates me. Because you're just starting off, bro. Now, mind you, I don't know how long they've been a couple. But you're setting a precedent. You're giving her 5 options. What are you going to do going forward? Is it always going to be 5 options? Think about that for a second while I drink. I'll give you another taste of this ASMR beer sipping. I hope you heard that going down. I tried my best. You've given her 5 options. Now, mind you, it's already fucked up that we got to spend thousands of dollars to put a ring on their finger when they don't have to spend a fucking penny on us. I've always been a proponent that we should get engagement watches. Engagement watches. If I got to spend all this money on a fucking ring for you, I should at least get, at minimum, a Movado out of it. Okay? If I'm spending big money on your ring, I deserve a Rollie in return. Or whatever. I mean, depending on how far you want to go with Audemars and all of that bullshit, tags, whatever your preference is, whatever the finances equal up to. Why are we always taking the L on that? I don't understand that. You got some good pussy that you're just going to give to me? Well, guess what? I got some good dick that I'm only going to give to you. Okay? So it goes both ways. This dick is worth just as much as that good pussy. All right? So this asshole gives her 5 fucking options. This marriage is doomed to fail. Sorry. It's just going to happen. You give a woman 5 options, you've set the precedent. She knows that there's never a definite. Because let's face it, marriage, sometimes you got to say, I'm not willing to accept anything else. This is where we are. It's a compromise. It's a constant compromise. You constantly evaluate and understand which battles to fight. It's all true. But there are times where you have to say, no, I'm not doing this. This is bullshit. Sorry. This is where I draw the line. On both sides, women and men. And if she's used to getting 5 options for everything, not gonna happen, bro. You're fucked. You are fucked. You set yourself up for failure. You're a fucking loser. And I wish your marriage lasts, but I know it won't. So good luck, buddy, because you're a fucking loser. 5 wedding rings. Fuck is that? Anyways, so I got a couple things here. My son, and I'll just be quick about this because I don't really know. I forgot to follow up with him. But my son tells me, oh, if I get X grade for this test, like I forget what the grade was, then I get free Chick-fil-A. And then if you get like X to the Y, then you get this. And then if you get below that, you get nothing. So I questioned him about it. I'm like, okay, so how does that work? Like, you're all at school, right? You get lunch. So if you make the Chick-fil-A grade, do they send you like to a certain area, or are you just sitting there across from the dumbass who has nothing, and you're just mowing down a Chick-fil-A right in this fucking dummy's face? Like what the fuck kind of incentive is that? Like, do they give you a like? I couldn't figure it out. I was like, do they give you a coupon where you can get a free Chick-fil-A, or? And I'll have the answer for you on the next episode. But I forgot to follow up. But I just found it so funny that they're offering this as a reward for doing well, which is great. But what if you just have a dumb kid? So your dumb kid is over there, and he obviously either buys lunch at school or gets it free, or he brings his own lunch. But he's just sitting there like he already failed, so he already feels like shit. And now you're gonna make him feel worse because everyone around him is just crushing Chick-fil-A, and this poor son of a bitch, this poor bastard, is eating his regular ass PB&J. Man, I almost had it. It was just 3 points away from that sweet Chick-fil-A. Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. I get it, but it's fucked up. I always say no participation trophies. So, sorry, son. Study harder next time. Oh, man. Anyway. I just picture it, and I just picture like the Mongo from every movie you ever seen, like the dummy who's just who you know is gonna fail, and again has like the just standard PB&J, and and he knows he failed, and he's just looking at everybody else, and everybody else has a nice fat Chick-fil-A sandwich. And if you had Chick-fil-A, you know how good it is. And he's just like, I'm sorry. Maybe he just abuses me too much. I don't know. But yeah. Hit the book, son. Um, so where was I? I had something else besides Chick-fil-A, I promise you. Oh, this asshole. So I read this article this morning, okay? And it was free, but when I tried to bring it up like online, it was like a paywall. So I was like, fuck you, Orlando Sentinel, whatever. I'm not trying to fucking pay for your stupid story that I just read earlier for free. But in any case, the bottom line is this guy wrote some type of like op-ed or something. He's from like Nevada, and he comes to Disney to I don't know how often, but he comes, I guess, often enough that it was important enough for him to write this fucking op-ed to that Disney is changing too much and it's not what Walt Disney would have wanted. And his beefs are with like let me see if I have anything regarding this asshole. Um so basically sorry guys. The throat is just not cooperating with me tonight. Another ASMR for you. This guy basically is saying, so Disney changed, I guess, their like uniforms and their policies, so they allow more little things like you can wear your hair longer, you can grow your beard a little longer, you can have tattoos as long as they're not, a certain way or whatever. You can have like your nails colored or whatever it is. The uniforms are going to be less male oriented, female, or whatever, just to try to be more inclusive to everyone. This asshole's going to say something like, "Oh, I'm not trying to go all the way over there just to see uh more inclusive stuff," like some stupid shit like that. Like, how the fuck does somebody dress, or what tattoo they have, or how does that take away from your experience or your enjoyment of a park or your ride? Like, I haven't been to Disney in a while. Um, so I can't really cite a specific ride. What was Tower of Terror? Is that the one that pretty sweet? It like drops down or whatever. Um, so if I get on the Tower of Terror, I'm going to enjoy it less because some asshole has a sleeve of tattoos. How the fuck does that make any sense? That just shows you're an asshole. You're a fucking asshole, this guy is. And he talked about like the immersive experience and it takes away and all of this dumb shit because they're rebranding Space Mountain because it was based on like this racial thing. They're changing it to something more inclusive, like the Princess and the Frog, which had like the first black princess. They're just trying to be progressive and include more people. And they're getting rid of like stereotypical bullshit with like Indians, um, calling them headhunters and just random attractions here and there. They're doing what seems to be the right thing to do, and this asshole doesn't like it. To which I say, fuck off. Fuck off. Like I always say about everything. You don't like it? Don't go. You got a problem with it? Go to Universal. You got a problem with Universal? Go to SeaWorld. You don't like anybody? Make your own fucking Disney park. Okay? Because this is just fucking stupid and ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. In any case, let's that was my smart speaker being a dick, in case you heard that. um and now my headphones are cracking. But that's not your problem, that's mine. I just want to show you what the face I want to show you what the face is of somebody who cries about this stuff. Okay? What the fuck is going on? Okay, here we go. This is the face. This is the face of somebody who's crying about Disney. Now, look at his little figurines in the background with his Snow White and his little dwarfs and Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and this loser Disney shirt he's wearing. This is the loser that's complaining about this stuff. Do we really give a fuck about if this guy like feels about Disney or not? Why do we even give him this platform? Fuck this guy. Look at this cockeyed motherfucker. Not to make fun of people who have cockeyed. I'm sorry, but this guy's cockeyed. So whatever. My bad. Got to be careful. Sorry. Let's take that back. Let's roll. Let's act like we didn't even hear that. Apologies to cockeyed people. This cocksucker is just a loser regardless. Okay? This loser right here has a problem because Disney wants to diversify more and be more sensitive to people's. This loser, fuck this guy. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Well, it's not unbelievable. These days, like, I can believe anything. So, guy's an asshole. Let's move on. I want to talk about this Japanese guy. Okay. This Japanese guy dated 35 different women. 35 different women at the same time. Okay? And he got arrested because he was getting birthday gifts from all of them. So some of you might say, wow, he's a scumbag. He deserves it, right? Others might say, wow, that fucking Japanese guy is a pimp. He's a motherfucking PIMP. This dude has that shit on repeat driving around. He's a motherfucking PIMP. 35 chicks. Okay? 35 chicks at the same time. Can you imagine that? Think about that for a second while I take a sip of this beer. If you've ever been I don't want to call you a scumbag, but if you've ever been misguided and you've tried to juggle women in your life, which I have earlier, way back when I was younger, you know, you get caught up and you do stupid things. Admit it, hand up. You maybe juggle 2, at the most 3. If you're a true pimp, maybe 4 or 5. This fucking guy had 35. How do you rotate that? That's like a job. There's only 31 days in a month. So you're going to see a chick once a month? And he made them believe he was serious. He had serious relationships with them. 35. That means if you're trying to hit them up twice a month, you're doing double duty. You're seeing at least 2 chicks every day. Every fucking day, and sometimes 3 chicks in a day. How the fuck? Who has time for that? Now, if these chicks are paying for all his bills and stuff like that, then okay, maybe you do have time for that. But that's not what's happening. This cocksucker was just doing this to get birthday presents. And he got arrested. This is what I found the most amusing about the whole thing. They said, let me get the exact number for you. They said he jerked them for about 100,000 Japanese yen. Okay, 100,000 Japanese yen. You think like, holy shit, he fucking worked them, right? 100,000. Not so fast, my friend. They can be matumbo. No, my friend. I looked it up. Apparently, 100,000 yen to US dollars is about $926.50. So less than $1,000. Less than $1,000 this guy got from these 35 women that spent on birthday presents for him. And he told them all different birthdays. This motherfucker had like, he was getting presents basically every day of the month. At least for, that first month or first couple of months or whatever, until you get new chicks into the rotation. And then you just keep adding. But he got less than $1,000 worth of presents, which means these chicks weren't like breaking the bank on him. They were spending like fucking $26, $27 a present on him. What the fuck can you buy for $26, $27? So for me, okay, you got a shirt. You got a decent shirt or a pair of shorts. You got some slides. Like, the effort that you have to put into, unless he was fucking all of them. If he was fucking all of them, then he was getting pussy too. I mean, that's worth something. So that's worth your effort and time. So I I hate to be so blunt about it, but it's just facts. If all he was getting was birthday gifts, then it's the most loserish nerd fucking like what do you get? You can't even get a hat for that. Not a decent hat. You're gonna get like a fucking Walmart hat for that price. Maybe you catch one on sale. But I guess the key piece of the story that's missing is, was he getting ass? Because if he was getting pussy, then you can kind of forgive the shitty, cheap ass birthday presents, right? Because you're still getting laid. I mean, hey, that's worth something. That's worth a lot more than a fucking I don't know, what can you get for $20 these days? Jesus Christ, almost nothing. But if he wasn't bumping uglies, as they used to say back in the day, with all 35 of these chicks, then he's kind of a sucky ass pimp loser. Like, I've read stories about these fucking pimps who take these chicks to the cleaners. Like these gigolos who all they give them is the D, and they're getting everything. These motherfuckers don't have to work. And this cocksucker's getting like $26 per in bullshit birthday gifts? Bad look, bro. Bad look. At first you say, oh yeah, go ahead, bro. You got. Then when you dig into gotta dig into the details, my peoples. Dig into the details and see this cocksucker was not a pimp, unfortunately. Unless he was slaying ass. If he was slaying ass, I'll give him a pass. Because the birthday gifts are just bonus. It's bonus. Because think about that. If he was slaying ass on 35 chicks, this motherfucker is a pimp. He was bouncing from bed to bed. And like I said, sometimes twice, 3 times a day. If he's doing that and he's single, he's not passing on any diseases, kudos. You're a pimp. You deserve props. And those little trinkets that you get, meh, who gives a fuck? You're smashing. You're sowing your loins. So kudos to you. But if he was just doing it just for it, because he gave them all different birthdays and shit like that. So it almost seems like he was doing it just for the he's a weak gigolo, the weakest gigolo we've ever seen. Like this is a dork nerd, like Dance Dance Revolution gigolo. Told you the throat was scratchy, sorry. So I'm gonna get to my last thing that I wanted to talk about. And that's part of the reason why I haven't done a pod in a little while, because I've switched jobs recently, so I've been dealing with that. But also, I just haven't had enough topics, like good topics that we can sink our teeth into, like a fucking asshole that is pimping 35 chicks and only gets $26 presents. So, or some other asshole who gives 5 fucking engagement rings. So I didn't want to force it, because it's like, if I gotta force topics on you guys, if I don't find them amusing or like to my liking, then what the fuck is the point? Like, why would you want to listen to me? You could tell that I'd be fake and I wouldn't really be into it. So I just try to keep it real, like always. It's just if and I'm sweating my dick off right. Listen, I sweat my balls off already for you guys. They're gone. Balls are gone. Dick is starting to get sweated off. So I need to hurry up and finish this shit. Okay? I can't sweat my dick off. I need that. I need that. I'm only 46. I still got plenty of use for that motherfucker. Okay? It still works. Wake up in the morning. Bah. I'm good. So let me finish this before I sweat my dick off. Anyways, this is something that everybody can relate to. So having said that, I switched jobs and all of that stuff. I am in an office area that is not particularly big. It's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's about 9 desks deep and some tables and stuff for other shit. And we have 1 bathroom. So it's not a big area. So I pause for dramatic effect. Or for those who could see on the YouTube, it was just me drinking another swig of beer. So I'm on my way to work, and the wife had made some buffalo chicken empanadas the night before, and they were great. I love them. I crush those motherfuckers. Unfortunately, my stomach and intestines did not love them so much. So I'm on my way to work and I'm feeling the pain. And you know the pain that I'm talking about. Your stomach is like bubbling like a witch's cauldron and making all types of noise. And you know you're not going to make it. Or if you do make it, you know as soon as you get to work, you're going to blow the fuck out of that bathroom. Now, mind you, already been to this bathroom. There's no like Febreze or anything like that. So I know, and I'm fairly new. So I know if I go to that bathroom and I blow that fucker up, it's going to stink up the whole goddamn office. Like I'm fucked. I am going to be the guy who has the stinkiest shits in the office. And everybody has one. Everybody like walks into a bathroom and you're like, God damn, what the fuck? Who the fuck died in here? I was there. Okay. So I said, fuck that. I am going to pull over into this Publix because I know Publix generally has a nice clean bathroom. So I walk into the Publix, stomach is grumbling, and I'm just like, all right, I gotta now mind you, I still gotta get to work on time. So I gotta hammer this out. So I get into the men's room, and just my luck, the fucking guy is cleaning the men's room as I walk in. So what do I do now? Do I leave? Do I subject this poor son of a bitch who already has a sucky job of cleaning this fucking Publix men's room to my disgusting, just horrible smelling shit that I'm about to drop? What do I do? I'm in a dilemma here. It's either subject this poor bastard who's making peanuts to this disgusting foulness that is going to come out of me, or go to work and subject everybody else to it and be labeled the asshole, the disgusting, shitting asshole for as however long I'm there. I noticed as I was walking into the men's room, there's a women's room, but there was also a family restroom where you could take your kid in and change their diaper and whatever, or if you have a little kid that hasn't really learned how to use a potty or whatever, you take them there. So thank God for that, because I let this poor son of a bitch live. I went into the family bathroom. I handled my business. I went to work. I didn't blow up my own spot, and I was good. But I feel bad for all you motherfuckers out there that don't have that option, because I don't have that option. It could have happened again. If I drop one of these loads in that bathroom, everybody's going to know. So what do? Do you buy that shit like that forms the seal on top of the fucking water? Do you just buy your own Febreze? Like, what do you do? What do you do in this situation so you're not the asshole who has the stinky shits? I don't know. That's why I'm throwing it out there to you guys. But I avoided the situation for now. So hopefully, um, hopefully all my deuces get dropped at home. If there are any developments on this, I'll certainly let you know. But until then, I guess I'll catch you. I don't want to say next week because the way things have been going, doesn't seem like I'm able to hit you every week. But until next time, hopefully my shits will be at home. And I guess we'll oh, by the way, I'm getting my second number 2 COVID shot on Monday. So hopefully I'll be fully vaccinated the next time I talk to you guys. And I can let you know how that goes if you care. Because there's a lot of anti-vaxxers out there or whatever. First one went great. Let's hope for the same thing for the second one. But otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Later, bitches.